always, I'm Carl with Target's Attitude, your absent-minded professor of knives and all things sharp. Sit back, grab your pencils and pens. We're about to start class. Today, instead of looking at a new knife, I'm taking a second look at a knife I viewed a little over a year ago. Originally reviewed this back in January of 2018. It's Ruike Hussar P121. Very sweet knife. As you can see, I've been using this as an EDC knife on and off for the past year. And you can get an idea of just how much use it's seen. Believe it or not, this has not actually been properly sharpened since I started using it. I've touched it up a couple times with a blade medic, but that's not really, it'll sharpen a knife, but it's not really something to use if your knife is really dull. So let's see how well this has done over that past year. We'll start, as always, with a piece of paper. Okay. Cutting it not very well. So, before we go any further, standard honing steel or sharpening steel. Bit of a note here. This device will not actually sharpen your knife. What it does is hone the knife. To give you an idea, as the knife edge gets used, it slowly starts to bend over to the side and gets a few burrs. The honing steel, as it's properly termed, will slowly push the edge back. But if your knife is dull, it's not going to do anything to sharpen it. For that, you need something else. So, but let's start with a honing steel, and let's just see what happens. By the way, also just as a little note, won't be a test on this, but technically what I'm doing is not the proper way to use a sharpening steel. It's the way you see it used in the movies. A lot of people will use it this way. Technically, you should put it tip down on a sharpening, or a cutting board like so, and then just run your knife down like that. Less likely to cut yourself or have accidents. So, but I've been doing this way for 40 years, and after 40 years, it's just kind of habit. This is even worse in a way, especially with this particular one, because, I mean, if you miss, you've only got that much to stop it from coming up against your hand. So, now that we've used a steel on it, back piece of paper, and let's see. Okay. For a knife that has been seeing heavy use every day for a year, that's pretty impressive. So let's see here. Do I have any cardboard? I'm sure I've got some cardboard here somewhere. Not seeing any cardboard. Ah, there's some cardboard. Be right back. Okay, so heavy corrugated cardboard, which I've been cutting quite often because in my day job I open an awful lot of boxes. Still doing that just fine. Hang packaging test. Another thing I have to open up quite often. Man, it's running through these standard tests pretty quick and pretty easy, isn't it? Paracord. If there are any burrs left on this, we're going to see it here. One. Still one. I'm not even sure I can get tipped through that one. But let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So the tip, probably I need to go down to the shop and actually sharpen the tip. But hey, it's okay. Taking everything else fast and easy. This is not standard, but you can get it without knocking everything out. Roll of stiff, heavy cowhide. Yeah. I can get cowhide like that. It's beveling the edge up beautifully. Probably use that thing as a hunting knife. Personally, I wouldn't want a folding knife for a hunting knife because the pivot point is going to provide a weakness, but hey, so we got some pieces of leather on it. No big deal. Right off. Okay, wood. Piece of poplar. Let's see how it does here. That was pretty quick. Feathering it up beautifully. Let's see here. Kind of cut through there without cutting my fingers. Yeah, he cut through. Very nicely. There. Big, thicker, and heavier piece of wood here. Still feathering it up. And see something. That's just hitting it with my hand. It's batoning right on in. Imagine what would happen if I was using a baton stick. So, keep in mind, all I did was hone it. I didn't actually sharpen it. So let's go back to the piece of paper. Yeah. Not bad at all. Wonder what else I could put this through to test it and see how it does. Nothing comes to mind right off. But, yeah, for a 1-year-old blade that's been in some pretty heavy use, and one that's costs, hell, I'm only asking $38 for this at gun shows, even a little cheaper on my website. So, hey, there you go. Budget does not always mean low quality. If you didn't see my original review, I probably should have said this at the beginning, but let's go ahead and review it anyway. The whole knife, closed, is just about 4.5 inches with black G10 scales. It's also available in a green color. The blade is just over 3.5 inches. It's 12C14N, which is a Scandinavian steel. It's done quite well. It's not a super steel maybe, but I'm really happy with it. It's certainly taking everything I can throw at it. It's a fairly thick blade. Stainless steel liners. Even after all this time and all that use, its blade is still nicely centered. You can see that the lock comes in almost to the middle of the blade. So there's no play in that at all. So, yeah. The Ruike Hussar P121. I don't think you can beat it. It sure has stood the test of time in my hands. I think it'd be stand the test of time in yours as well. So, well, there you have it. A little different. I normally don't go back and look at knives that I've been using heavily for a year or more. But someone asked me if I ever did it, and I thought, why not? In the meantime, do have a little bit of housekeeping to do. Haven't been doing this a lot lately, but if you would be so kind, trying to get my subscription rates up a little bit. So, if you wouldn't mind, right about here somewhere, there should be a subscribe button if you haven't already clicked on one of my other videos. Right next to his little bell. Go ahead and click on that subscribe, then click on the bell, and you'll get updates whenever I post a new video, which I try to do about once a week. Oh, you've been wondering about my hair? Well, I'm applied for a new day job, so to speak. So I had to trim up. I needed to look like a true professional, not some wild child from the 70s, you know. But still the same old me. Still bringing you decent knives at a decent price. And I want to start looking at some of the more expensive knives too, and giving them even more handy and heavy workouts. So come along for the ride. Hope to see you again soon. Meantime, you take care. And remember, if you're going to do something, no matter how major or how minor, even if it's just commenting on the fact that I no longer look like Ronnie James Dio, do it with attitude. See you now. Bye.